Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Financial Survival Network is presented to you by Regal Assets. Buy and sell physical gold and silver through your existing retirement plan, 100% tax-free with Regal Assets. If you want to include physical gold or silver in your existing IRA or old 401k, request your free investment kit, which was recently featured in the Forbes and Smart Money Wall Street Journal magazines. Call toll-free 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620, or visit regalassets.com. We're back live from Hard Asset Chicago Resource Conference, and we've been exploring companies on the floor. We've come across an interesting one, Westminster Resources, and with me is the CEO, Bruce Ballantyne, to talk about what they're doing. Bruce, welcome to Financial Survival Network.
Thank you very much, Kerry. It's a great opportunity for me to meet you and to tell your listeners a little bit about Westminster Resources. We're a Vancouver-based company, but our projects are based solely in Sonora, Mexico, which is a really well-known mineral-producing district of Mexico. However, we've found a brand new mineral district and we're exploring it systematically. We own the property, 2 projects that are quite large, and we've been systematically working on them since about 2009. And we are fortunate that this year in April, we were able to option a portion of one of our big projects called El Cobre to Capstone Mining. And we're the operators of the project doing the exploration. They're funding us $1.6 million this year and $1.7 million next year. And they have a commitment to spend well over $9 million to earn 70% in the project, and then Westminster will still own 25% at the end. It's a big copper, gold, silver opportunity, large potential from the idea of big open pit mines. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we think we found. We're at the stage now of interpreting all of the recent geophysical data that we've collected and soil samples and rock samples at surface, and we've just finished our very first phase 1 drill program, which was a short program in June, about 1,600 meters of drilling, and our next budgeted drilling campaign, which is going to start this fall, is estimated at about 5,500 meters of diamond drilling on brand new geophysical targets that have been created from the 219 line kilometers of detailed geophysics that we've done over this project. And that's generated some really exciting targets, and so we're looking forward to drilling very soon.
Yeah, so you got a significant investment from Capstone as well as a joint venture. So big company, they must have seen something there that they really liked.
Well, that's an understatement. It's extremely compelling, Gary, this project. Even though it's never been discovered before, it hasn't been drilled, it's on flat ranch land, so there's not a whole lot of outcrops, but you can literally drive to this mineralization at surface through the ranches. We've got great access, lots of water for drilling, electricity nearby. All the infrastructure is right there in this part of Sonora, but it has seen little systematic exploration, and in the area that we have accumulated, nobody's been there before. So we're the first comers to do this big recognition of a brand new mineral district. When Capstone arrived on the property, they have 2 producing mines, one up in Yukon and another one in southern Mexico, but they bought out a corporation in Chile that has a big, huge iron oxide copper gold deposit. They're called IOCG deposits, and that's about a $300 million capital production for that. So what they saw at our surface is the same sort of thing that they just found down in Chile they're in a development stage for. So they recognized, as we did, that this is a big opportunity, it's a big system, and it's going to have big dividends, we believe, in new discoveries of hundreds of millions of tons of ore.
It sounds like a potential world-class mine, and you've been in this business for a while. Tell us about how you got into it and what keeps you in mining through up cycles and down cycles.
Well, that's a great question. I'm a diehard economic geologist, prospector person. My first part of my career after graduation, I worked for the Geological Survey of Canada for 23 years in Canada, and then I moved to Vancouver and became an independent consultant and worked with. Joined this group of partners and myself in about year 2000. We discovered and drilled a big deposit of nickel and copper and platinum and palladium in northern Canada, and then took that company onto the Toronto Exchange, and then gave it to people who are in the development business. We're explorers, and so then we started Westminster Resources, and we did go looking for new world-class type opportunities. And so that's what's so fun about this business, is to go and look around the world and find things and work them up to reserves and resources and watch the assets of the company and the shareholders grow, and then watch things become actual mines and contribute to the economy of wherever you are. That's our plan. I'm 65 years old now, and I'll be doing this until they cart me away. I love it a lot. I spend a lot of time in the field myself, and we work hard at these things, and we're very proud of our exploration track record to date.
And it's kind of incredible that you go to a district that nobody thought was there, anything was there except dirt, and you find a world-class deposit. What was that like when you found this area and you said, wait a second, nobody owns this, nobody's even thought there's anything in the ground here, and here it is?
Well, like many things in this business, it's sometimes just an opportunity. We went to this district and started in 2009, as I mentioned, accumulating data and information and prospecting. And then an old prospector, Mexican man, who had worked in a mine when he was 15 years old. And this little old mine is about 30 kilometers away from us. And it had been developed from 1900 to 1910. Then the revolution came in Mexico, and everybody fled back to the United States to develop high-grade copper veins and things in southern Arizona. That company was named Douglas Copper Company, which became Phelps Dodge Corporation, and the famous town of Douglas, Arizona, is named after that. Well, there was, therefore, some good history that this little mine that was only like 900 feet below the surface was high-graded. In those days, it was lost. Nobody did any development on it. So the man told us, come and see it, and we did. And we said, well, there's got to be more than just this little pinprick. And sure enough, there was. So we started to systematically examine the whole story, and now we're quite sure that the big targets, the real opportunity for world-class deposits, are about 15 kilometers away from where that little old historic mine was. So if it wasn't for that opportunity of us getting out there and meeting people in Mexico and being on the ground on a daily basis, we maybe wouldn't have known about that little old mine. Now, shareholders of Westminster are very fortunate because we've made the whole story a lot bigger and a lot better.
And I'm sure you've bought up land all over the place there, rights to it, at extremely favorable prices.
Well, in Mexico, you're allowed to. We have a Mexican corporation. You can form a Mexican corporations, and they can hold 100% of the mineral rights. They're called mineral concessions. You register them in the name of your subsidiary. The mining rights in Mexico are absolutely excellent. The right to own mineral rights is actually in the Constitution of Mexico. We don't even have that in Canada, and or the U.S. And so there's a strong history in Mexico of mineral development and mineral ownership. So we stake these claims and we register them for very little cost. And then every 6 months you pay mining duties to the government. So as long as you keep your mining duties up, you can own the mineral rights. The surface rights, that's a different matter. They're actually owned by ranchers. And so we've got great cooperation from the ranchers. We hire their Caterpillar tractor. We, help to fix their roads and so on and so forth. And we hire all the local people. I've had up to 40 different staff of Mexican workers from the little villages and everything. And so they're eager to learn, and they're eager to have an opportunity to have a paycheck for the first time. And so mineral exploration is good and good for these communities. And I'm really impressed by the work ethic and the cooperation that we've got so far in this district. Mexico's a great place to work. About 1,900 active projects now or development projects in Mexico. 75% of them are funded by Canadian corporations who are trading on the Toronto Venture Exchange or the Toronto Stock Exchange, and we're one of them. And Westminster Resources' symbol is WMR, and we also trade on the over-the-counter bulletin board, and our symbol there is WMRSF. And so that's how people can follow us. And we have, of course, websites and so on and so forth that we keep up to date.
All right, so the website's westminsterres.com. Yeah. You can go there, and any questions, either Bruce will answer or the IR people, and just check them out, because I know I'm going to. And Bruce, thanks for being with financialsurvivalnetwork.com. And if you're interested in this company and others, you can just go to the site, check them out, and we'll talk to you again soon. Hopefully we'll see you in San Francisco, Bruce.
Thank you very much again, Kerry, for taking the time to discuss our project and our company. And we certainly look forward to having your listeners follow its growth and success in the very near future. And everybody will be extremely excited about this project.
Hey, thanks, Bruce.